I pushed open the bathroom door, greeted by the soft hum of the hairdryer and the comforting scent of Emma's lavender shampoo. The morning light filtered through the frosted glass window, casting a warm glow that framed her in a golden hue. Emma stood in front of the mirror, expertly maneuvering a curling iron through her hair, her reflection a portrait of focused beauty. "Hey there, handsome," she said, glancing back at me with a playful smile that sent a rush of warmth through my chest. "Are you ready for Barbados?" "Absolutely," I replied, leaning against the doorframe, my arms crossed. "But I'm not sure you're ready to leave this behind." I gestured toward her reflection, admiring how the sunlight danced off the loose waves cascading down her shoulders. "You look stunning," Emma laughed, the sound light and melodic. "Flattery will get you everywhere, you know that." She turned fully to face me, the curling iron now resting on the counter. "So, what's the bet?" "I say we'll be busy every night." "What about you?" I raised an eyebrow, intrigued by the challenge. "Busy? I'm going to say 3 times. You know I like to keep it reasonable, 3 times. Is that your final answer?" She stepped closer, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "I bet you can't handle me, Mr. Perfect Husband." "Oh, you're on," I replied, the competitive spirit igniting in me. "The loser has to take care of the other's chores for a week when we get back. Just think about it, if you win, I'll do everything." "But if I win," I leaned in closer, my voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "You might end up doing some very interesting things around the house." "Interesting, huh?" she said, her smile widening. "You might be surprised at how much I can handle, Jake." We shared a moment of comfortable laughter, the flirtation and electric current between us. It reminded me of the early days of our relationship, the spark that had drawn us together. But this time, the playful energy held an edge of something deeper, a hint of unpredictability that hovered in the air like a storm cloud. "Seriously though," Emma said, her tone shifting slightly as she picked up her makeup brush. "I can't wait for this trip. We need this time away, just the 2 of us. It's been too long." I nodded, feeling the weight of her words. "You're right. Just the 2 of us in paradise. No work, no distractions." I paused, trying to gauge her mood. "I just hope we can rekindle what we've lost." "Rekindle?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "Is that what you think we've lost?" "I don't know," I admitted, feeling vulnerable. "But I've noticed we've been a bit distant. Like we're living parallel lives." Emma set her brush down, her expression thoughtful. "Maybe that's why we're going. To rediscover each other. This trip could be the reset we need." She took a step closer, her hand brushing against mine. "I don't want to lose us either, Jake." Her sincerity hit me like a wave, washing away my fears momentarily. "Then let's make the most of it. No holding back, okay?" "Agreed," she said, her smile returning as she leaned in and pecked my cheek. "Now, help me pick out which bikini to wear. This trip is about having fun, and I need your expert opinion." "Expert opinion?" I chuckled, stepping further into the bathroom. "I think you look good in anything. But if we're betting on it, let's make sure it's the one that'll turn heads." As I sifted through her collection of swimsuits, the playful banter resumed, filling the bathroom with a lightheartedness I craved. I could feel the excitement building within me, mingling with a nervous anticipation for what awaited us in Barbados. Little did I know, this vacation would unveil more than just sun-soaked days and flirtatious nights, it would challenge the very foundation of our relationship. The vibrant sounds of laughter filled the air as Sam and Lucy's arrival echoed through the living room, their energy palpable even before I caught sight of them. I stood by the kitchen island, pouring myself a drink when I heard the key turn in the lock. Moments later, the door swung open, revealing Sam's wide grin and Lucy's infectious laughter. "There they are. The party can finally start," Sam declared, striding into the room with a flourish, his arm draped around Lucy's shoulders. "About time you 2 got here." Emma chimed in, rushing over to greet them. "We were starting to think you were going to leave us behind." Lucy stepped forward, a burst of sunshine in a bright floral sundress that accentuated her figure. We wouldn't dream of it. You know we're always fashionably late. She hugged Emma tightly, the two women exchanging excited squeals as they pulled back to admire each other. Seriously, you look amazing, Lucy said, her eyes twinkling. That outfit is so cute. Are you trying to make me jealous? Emma laughed, her cheeks flushing slightly. Just trying to keep up with you, Luce. You know how it is. As they bantered, I couldn't help but admire the camaraderie between the women. They had been friends for years, and their bond was strong, filled with playful teasing and unspoken understanding. Meanwhile, Sam and I exchanged knowing glances, the kind that spoke volumes about our lives as husbands. I could see the unspoken concern mirrored in his eyes, a recognition of the delicate balance we were about to navigate. So, are you two ready for some fun in the sun? I asked, attempting to steer the conversation in a more relaxed direction. I hope you packed your sunscreen because this place is going to be scorching. Ready? We were born ready. Sam replied with a laugh, cracking open a cold beer from the fridge. Just trying to make sure my wife doesn't get too much attention, or I'll end up with a sunburn from the jealousy. He glanced at Lucy, who rolled her eyes playfully. Oh please, you know I'm the one who has to keep my eyes on you, Sam, Lucy shot back, a teasing smile on her face. You're the one who flirts with anything in a bikini. Flirt? Me? Never. Sam feigned innocence, raising his hands in mock surrender. I'm just a friendly guy. Besides, look at Emma. If anyone is going to cause a commotion, it'll be her. The laughter erupted, filling the room and easing any lingering tension I felt. Emma turned to me, her expression a mix of mischief and pride. Don't worry, Jake. I'll only flirt with the lifeguard if you give me the green light. Just don't get any ideas, I shot back, half joking, but there was a seriousness in my tone that I hoped she'd catch. Relax, it's all in good fun, she replied, waving off my concern. Just think of it as a little vacation spice. As we settled into the living room, drinks in hand and the chatter of excitement in the air, I felt the weight of the world lift momentarily. We were here to enjoy ourselves, to escape the grind of reality. But as I observed the interplay of looks and laughter between Emma and Sam, I couldn't shake the feeling that this trip might become more than just a break from our routine. All right, everyone. Who's ready for a toast? I raised my glass, and everyone turned their attention to me, the room quieting down. To friendship, fun, and unforgettable memories in Barbados. To unforgettable memories, they echoed, clinking their glasses together, the sound a delightful melody of camaraderie. As the night unfolded, the atmosphere remained buoyant. We shared stories, reminisced about past trips, and teased each other about everything from bad travel experiences to inside jokes that made us all laugh. But underneath it all, I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that the easy banter between Emma and Sam was merely the calm before the storm. Later that night, as I helped Emma pack her bag for the trip, I noticed her scrolling through her phone, laughing at something Sam had sent. I felt a twist of jealousy knotting in my stomach, but I tried to push it down. What's so funny? I asked, feigning casual interest. Oh, just a meme he sent about how I better keep my bikini game strong, Emma replied, glancing up at me with a playful smirk. He thinks he can compete with my looks at the beach. Tell him to watch out, I replied, forcing a chuckle, but inside, my mind was racing. The easy camaraderie between them was beginning to blur the lines of friendship, and I wasn't sure how long I could ignore the unease that simmered beneath the surface. Relax, Jake. It's all just friendly banter, she reassured me, leaning in for a quick kiss. I'm all yours on this trip, remember? Yeah, I just hope that's true, I muttered, a hint of doubt lacing my words. With her laughter echoing in my ears, I tried to push my worries aside. We had come here to have fun, to rediscover each other, but I couldn't shake the feeling that the dynamics were shifting, and the sunny paradise of Barbados held the potential for much more than just a vacation. The sun blazed brightly as we lounged by the resort pool, the sound of laughter and splashing water filling the air. The atmosphere was electric, a heady mix of excitement and relaxation that only a tropical paradise could provide. I settled into a sun lounger, a cold drink in hand, while my gaze drifted over to Emma and Lucy, who were perched at the edge of the pool, chatting animatedly with a group of younger men. Emma's laughter rang out, bright and infectious, drawing attention from everyone nearby. I watched as she tossed her hair back, the sunlight catching the golden strands, while Lucy leaned in closer, their playful banter weaving a spell that seemed to capture the entire group. "Look at them," I muttered to Sam, who had plopped down beside me, his brow furrowed. "They're practically glowing over there." "Yeah, and they're definitely enjoying the attention," he replied, his eyes narrowed slightly as he surveyed the scene. "I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel like the invisible man over here." "I get it," I sighed, taking a sip of my drink. "But it's harmless fun, right? We're here to relax." "Sure, but it's easy for things to get out of hand. You know how resorts can be," Sam said, shifting uncomfortably. "All that sun, all that freedom." I shot him a sideways glance. "You're starting to sound like an overprotective husband." "I am an overprotective husband," he replied with a smirk. "And I'm not ashamed of it. Just keep an eye on them, okay?" "Yeah, I'll keep an eye on Emma." "But I trust her, Sam," I said, attempting to reassure both him and myself. As the day wore on, I noticed Emma and Lucy growing increasingly flirtatious with the younger men lounging around the pool. I could see the way Emma tossed her head back in laughter, the playful nudges exchanged, the way she leaned in just a little too close. Each smile from her sent an uncomfortable twist in my gut. "Hey, Jake. Come join us." Emma called over, waving me over with a beaming smile. "You have to see this. They're showing us some cool pool tricks." I hesitated, glancing at Sam, who looked equally torn. "You should go," he urged, nudging my shoulder. "Don't let them have all the fun." With a reluctant sigh, I pushed myself off the lounger and made my way to the pool's edge. "What's going on over here?" I asked, trying to inject some lightness into my voice. "Oh, just some tricks we learned from our new friends," Emma said, her eyes sparkling. "Watch this." One of the younger guys, a tall, tanned man with a confident grin, demonstrated a dive that had everyone cheering. Emma clapped enthusiastically, her eyes bright with excitement, and I felt a pang of jealousy. It was meant to be fun, but the way she interacted with him, too easily, too freely, set off alarms in my mind. "Pretty impressive, huh?" Lucy said, leaning in to whisper. "But I think Emma's a bit more impressed by the guy than the dive." "Yeah, I noticed," I replied, trying to keep my tone casual. "She's really in her element. Isn't that what we wanted? To let loose and have fun?" Lucy asked, her voice laced with genuine curiosity. "You know how she is. She thrives in social settings." "I know, but," I trailed off, uncertain how to articulate my growing concern. I watched as Emma threw her head back in laughter at something the guy had said. "It just feels different." As the sun began to dip below the horizon, the atmosphere shifted, becoming a blend of sunset hues and growing tensions. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was brewing beneath the surface. "Jake, you look like you've swallowed a lemon," Emma teased as she approached, her hair damp from the pool. "What's the matter?" "Nothing," I said, forcing a smile. "Just taking it all in, I guess." "Come on, you can't be serious." "We're on vacation," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Let's not ruin the mood. Join us for a drink." I opened my mouth to protest but caught Sam's warning look across the pool. "Sure, a drink sounds good," I said, my voice measured. "Just, let's keep it light, all right?" Emma rolled her eyes playfully, slinging her arm around my shoulder. "Light as a feather. No worries here. Besides, it's just harmless flirting." "Right, harmless," I echoed, but the word felt heavy in my mouth. As the night progressed, we moved to a nearby bar, the soft glow of tiki torches illuminating our surroundings. The drinks flowed freely, and with each round, I noticed Emma's laughter grew louder, her flirtation more pronounced. The younger men around us continued to throw glances her way, and I felt the tightness in my chest grow. "Let's do a round of shots," Lucy suggested, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "What do you say?" "Sure, why not?" Emma chimed in, raising her glass high. "To a wild vacation." "To a wild vacation," everyone echoed, the glasses clinking together with a resounding cheer. "Just remember, we're keeping things friendly, right?" I said, trying to sound light-hearted, but my voice had an edge. Emma smirked, leaning in close. "Of course, Jake. Just a little fun in the sun. No harm in that, right?" As I watched her down her shot, I felt a familiar knot in my stomach. The light-hearted atmosphere had begun to blur, transforming into something I hadn't anticipated. I glanced at Sam, who seemed to share my unease. We exchanged a look that said more than words ever could. "Let's dance," Emma shouted suddenly, pulling me toward the makeshift dance floor under the stars. I followed, but the closer we got, the more I could feel the weight of the growing tension. With the rhythm of the music pulsating around us, I tried to immerse myself in the moment, but my eyes kept darting back to the group of young men who were still watching Emma, whispering and laughing amongst themselves. I could feel the jealousy boiling beneath the surface, a mix of protectiveness and uncertainty gnawing at me. "Hey, do you want to join the dance-off?" Emma called out, her excitement infectious. "Dance-off?" I echoed, trying to keep my enthusiasm up. "Do you really think we can keep up with them?" "Of course. Just let loose, Jake. We're on vacation." She twirled away, beckoning me to follow. As I moved onto the dance floor, I did my best to join in her exuberance, but the unease lingered like a shadow. I watched as she danced freely, her laughter echoing in the night, and I couldn't shake the feeling that the flirtation with danger was merely beginning. As the night wore on, I began to understand that this vacation was not just about reconnecting, it was testing the very fabric of our relationship, and I was starting to wonder whether we would emerge from it stronger or forever changed. The sun had barely begun to rise over the horizon, casting a soft glow that crept into our hotel room. I lay awake, the events of the previous night replaying in my mind like a disturbing highlight reel. Emma's laughter, her flirty banter, and the way she moved with the young men lingered in my thoughts, casting a shadow over what was meant to be a joyous vacation. As I turned to my side, I found Emma still asleep, her hair splayed across the pillow, a peaceful expression gracing her features. I wanted to reach out, to hold her and pull her close, but my thoughts held me hostage. The images of her dancing with abandon, flirting so effortlessly, felt like a chasm growing between us. I slipped out of bed, careful not to disturb her, and made my way to the balcony. The warm morning air enveloped me, and I took a moment to breathe deeply, hoping to clear my mind. As I leaned against the railing, I saw Sam and Lucy walking hand in hand towards the pool, their laughter carried by the breeze. "Hey, man! You coming?" Sam called out, waving me over. "We're grabbing breakfast before hitting the beach." "Yeah, I'll be right there," I replied, forcing a smile. When I returned to the room, Emma was sitting up, her hair tousled and eyes still heavy with sleep. "Good morning, sleepyhead," I said, trying to muster enthusiasm. "Good morning. Did you sleep well?" she asked, her voice still thick with slumber. "Not really. Just thinking about everything." I hesitated, debating whether to voice my concerns about last night. "About what?" she inquired, tilting her head slightly, her expression shifting to one of curiosity. "About last night. The dancing, the guys," I said, choosing my words carefully. "You seemed really comfortable with them." Emma's brow furrowed, a hint of defensiveness creeping into her tone. "What's that supposed to mean, Jake? We were just having fun." "I know, but it felt like more than just fun." "It was like you were," I trailed off, searching for the right words. "Flirting with them," she sighed, running a hand through her hair. "Jake, it was just harmless flirting." You know how it is, everyone was doing it. It's a vacation, for God's sake, but you don't usually act that way. Not around other guys, I countered, my voice rising slightly. It makes me wonder if you're looking for something more. Emma's eyes widened, a flash of hurt crossing her face. So now I can't have fun without it being a problem. You're acting jealous, and it's really not a good look for you. I'm not trying to be jealous. I just want to feel like we're on the same page. This was supposed to be our time, Emma. I felt the frustration boiling over. It just feels like you're more interested in them than me. She crossed her arms, her expression shifting from hurt to defiance. Maybe I just wanted to let loose a little. You're so caught up in this fear that something is going to happen, but nothing has. You're making it worse by worrying about it. I rubbed the back of my neck, feeling the tension rise. I know. I guess I'm scared of losing you, losing me. Or losing control, she shot back, her voice tinged with irritation. I thought this trip was about reconnecting, Jake. If you're going to keep holding on to your insecurities, how is that going to help? The weight of her words hung in the air, a palpable tension that seemed to stretch between us. I wanted to argue more, to defend my feelings, but something about her challenge made me pause. Maybe I was being too overprotective, too controlling. But the uncertainty lingered. We'll talk about it later, I finally said, attempting to defuse the situation. Let's just enjoy the day. After a tense breakfast with Sam and Lucy, who remained blissfully unaware of the storm brewing between us, I found myself more on edge than ever. Sam caught my eye several times, concern etched across his face, but I forced a smile each time, determined to keep appearances up for everyone else. As we made our way to the beach, I watched Emma and Lucy skip ahead, their laughter echoing as they chased each other through the sand. A knot of anxiety twisted in my stomach. Sam fell in step beside me, his brow furrowed. "Everything good?" he asked quietly, glancing at the women up ahead. "Not really," I admitted, lowering my voice. "Emma and I had a pretty intense talk this morning. I just don't know how to handle her flirting." "Flirting? With who?" Sam's eyes narrowed as he scanned the beach. "The guys from last night," I replied, keeping my gaze on Emma. "I just feel like she's enjoying the attention a little too much. Look, man, she's just trying to have a good time. You can't control everything she does," he said, his tone firm yet supportive. "But you also need to let her know how you feel without coming off as jealous. It's a fine line, I know. It's just frustrating. I thought this vacation would be about us, and now I feel like I'm competing for her attention. Just remember that you're not competing for her. You're partners," he reminded me. "Maybe talk to her again. But don't make it confrontational. Open up and share your feelings." Before I could respond, we reached the water's edge, where Emma and Lucy were already splashing around, their laughter ringing through the air. I forced myself to focus on the moment, to push aside the discomfort that had settled in my chest. But the atmosphere quickly shifted. As the sun reached its peak, I noticed Sam's attention drifting toward Emma more than I was comfortable with. Each time they shared a laugh or a playful shove, a sense of unease gnawed at me. "Hey, Emma," Lucy called, her voice playful. "Let's see who can swim out to that buoy and back first." "Game on," Emma replied, determination sparkling in her eyes. As they both sprinted into the water, I glanced at Sam, who was watching with an intensity that didn't sit right with me. "Sam, you okay?" I asked, trying to mask my concern. "Yeah, just enjoying the view," he said, a hint of seriousness creeping into his tone. "Right," I said, crossing my arms as I watched the women swim. But as they disappeared under the waves, I could feel the tension building again. Eventually, Emma and Lucy emerged from the water, laughter spilling from their lips, and the mood shifted once more. Lucy wiped water from her face and turned to Sam, her eyes sparkling. "Did you see that? I almost beat Emma." "Almost," Sam replied, smirking as he crossed his arms, clearly impressed. Just wait until the next round, Emma called out, her laughter infectious as she splashed water in Sam's direction. Just don't drown, all right, he teased back, his tone playful. As the afternoon wore on, I couldn't shake the unease. It wasn't just Emma's interactions with the younger men, it was Sam's reaction too. It felt as if the dynamics had shifted, as if the boundaries we once held so dear were now teetering on the edge of something more complicated. That evening, after a long day of sun and laughter, I pulled Emma aside while the others were busy preparing for dinner. "Can we talk?" I asked, my voice low but firm. "Sure, what's up?" she replied, glancing at the others before turning her full attention to me. "I just wanted to clarify something," I began, taking a breath to steady my nerves. "This whole vacation, it's becoming more complicated than I thought. I need to know we're in this together." "Jake, I told you it's all in fun," she said, her tone a mix of annoyance and confusion. "I don't understand why you're so worried about me having a good time. I thought we were both trying to let loose." "Having a good time doesn't mean pushing our boundaries," I said, my frustration bubbling to the surface again. "I want us to reconnect, but I can't do that if I feel like I'm losing you to Sam or those guys at the pool." Emma paused, her expression shifting to one of surprise. "You think I'd choose them over you?" "Seriously, it's not about choosing," I replied, my voice softening. "But it feels like something is changing between us. And I don't want to lose what we have." She stepped closer, her eyes searching mine. "Jake, I'm not going anywhere. I love you, but I also need to enjoy myself. Can't you trust me a little?" "I want to trust you, but it's hard when everything feels so uncertain," I confessed, the weight of my fears hanging heavy between us. "I promise you, I'm not interested in anyone else. You're the one I want to be with, now and always," she said, her voice sincere. As I looked into her eyes, I felt a flicker of hope igniting in my chest. Maybe this vacation was about more than just fun, it was about confronting our fears and insecurities. But as we turned to head back to the others, I couldn't shake the feeling that the night held even more.